Hello students, welcome to Sumaya English Primary School, class 6, and the subject is history. And the chapter is 5, and the name of the chapter is Religious Trends in Ancient India. In this chapter, we will see how the religious has been changing in ancient India. Now we will start with the topic Jainism. It is one of the ancient religions in India. It was started around 600 BCE. It means before the Common Era, which we have studied in the class 5th also. Jainism is named after the Jinas. In this Jinas, 24 spiritual leaders were there, which was called as Tirthankaras. Here the word spiritual means relating to people's thoughts and beliefs. Vardhaman Mahavir was the 24th Tirthankaras in the Jain religious tradition. So it is regarded as he was the founder of Jainism. He lived 599 to 527 BCE and he was the believer of Buddha. Here we have seen the Jainism. So here we will see about the Vardhaman Mahavir. Previous only I have told you Vardhaman Mahavir was the 24th Tirthankaras who was born at Kundagrama, which was near the Vaisali, and he belongs to Kshatriya parents. His father name was Siddhartha and his mother name was Trishala, and he married to Yasoda and he had a daughter also. And at the age of 30 he started living his life for religious, and he went here and there for 12 years. And in the 13th year he attained the highest spiritual knowledge, which was known as Kevla. Then afterwards he was known as Mahavira and Jina. Those who follow him, that is his followers, were called Jains, and then his religion was known as the Jainism. So in this way he preached for 30 years and died at the age of 72 at Pava near Rajgriha. This was we have seen about the Vardhaman Mahavir. Now next we will talk about the 5 great woes and the 3 jewels, which was known as the 3 Ratna. First we will talk about here 5 great woes. That is, the first one is the non-violence, that is known as the Ahimsa. It means no living being should be hurted, harmed or injured through anyone's behavior. That is known as the non-violence. Now next we will talk about the truth, that is the Satya. It means each and every word and the action whatever we are doing should be true. That is the truth. Now the next one, third one, is the non-stealing. That is the Astiya, the name it is also there, and one more name it is the Achorya. We should not steal anything. Steal means without anybody knowing the things which we are taking, that is the steal. It means we should not steal anything without anyone's permission. And the fourth one is the celibacy, that is the Brahmacharya. The another word for the celibacy is the chastity. It means the whole life we have to follow the vows, whatever the vows which we have taken, that we have to follow. And the fifth one is the last one, non-possession, non-attachment, that is the aparigraha. Because of our greed, we used to take the wrong choices and try to take anything in that way, that is known as the aparigraha. Now in the same things we will study about the 3 jewels which I have told you about, the 3 Ratna. Samyak Darshan, that is the rational perception. It means to understand the truth in the preaching of the Tirthankara and to have faith in it. That is the Samyak Darshan. And the next was the Samyak Gyan, that is Janan. The another name is a rational knowledge, which means in this they used to study the philosophy of Tritankara regularly and they learned their meaning very deeply. And the third one is the Samyak Charitra, that is rational conduct. In this they have to follow the 5 great vows very strictly. In this way we have seen all the points of this 5 great vows and the 3 jewels, that is 3 Ratna. Now next we will talk about the Buddhism. Buddhism is a major world religion which spreads in India and in many countries outside the India also. Gautam Buddha was the founder of this Buddhism. It is the 4th largest religion of world and his followers was near about 30 crore. The people, those who follows the Buddhism, it was near about the 30 crores. And it helps the people to lead the life in this way that they feel very happiness. Whatever they used to do the Buddhism helps the people. They used to live like they will very happiness in these things. Now next we will talk about the Gautam Buddha. He was born at Lumbini in the Nepal and his father's name was Shuddhodana and his mother's name was Maya Devi. His birth name was Siddharth. When he had gained the knowledge of human life, then he was known as Buddha. He was wanted to know why the people are very sorrow and why they are suffering. For knowing that things, he left his home and all his comforts also. On Vaishaka Purnima, he was sitting in a very deep meditation under a peepal tree at Urvela place. It was near the city of Gaya in Bihar. When he attained the highest knowledge, that is Bodhi, under that tree. So the tree is now known as Bodhi tree, which is the another name of this Bodhi tree is given the Bodhi Vriksha. And the people of that place kept the name Bodh Gaya. His first speech was delivered related to religious at Sarnath near Varanasi. His first teachings was known as Dhamma. Then afterwards his event was known as Dhamma Chakrapravartan in Pali and Dharma Chakrapravartan in Sanskrit. This was the two another name. Afterwards he travelled on the foot for nearly 4 to 5 years to preach the Dhamma. He used to speak in people's language, that is known as the Pali. In Buddhism, the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha concept was very important. So it was known as the Tri Sharan. That was the Tri Sharan which I have told you now, Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha, which was very important in the Buddhism concept. That was known as Tri Sharan. Now next is, in the Buddhisms only, there are 4 noble truths. That is first one, Dukha. Dukha means suffering. It means the human's life is full of suffering and sorrow. And the second is, what is the reason? What is the reason behind of Dukh? That is the cause of Dukh. Here we are talking about the cause of suffering, which the people are suffering because of their greediness they are suffering. Here the main motive of the Dukh is the greediness. Now the third one is the Dukh Nivaran. It means it is possible. How we will end the suffering? It means it is possible to end the suffering of the human life when the people will overcome with their greediness. When they will come outside with the greediness, there will be the endness of the suffering. Now next is the last one, fourth one, Pratipad. It means the way, the path. This, if the people come in this way, they can end their suffering with the good conduct. The name of the way is Ashantaki, which is known as the eightfold path. This was the Buddhism's four noble truths. Now next we will talk about the 5 rules of Buddha, which is also known as Panchashil, which is the 5 precepts of Buddha. We should do not harm any life beings. We should not harm any life of living beings. The animal also. Here we are talking about the human beings also and the animals also. We should do not steal. Second one. That is, we should stay away from stealing. Third is the respect each other. We should always respect each other. Fourth one is speak kindly of others. We should always speak truth and stay away from telling the lies and speak kindly to the others. And the last one is the avoid action that are harmful to your body and the mind. That is, don't take anything which is very harmful to your body or the mind. That is intoxicants. For example, it is alcohol and the smoking, which is very harmful to our body and the mind, that we should not take it down. This was the 5 rules, that is the 5 precepts of the Buddha, that is the Panchashil. Now next we will talk about the Buddha Sangha. Buddha created a Sangha of the bhikkhus to spread his religion. Here is one more name, it is known as the bhikkhus. The people, those who follow him and entered the Sangha, that is known as the bhikkhus. They also travelled on foot with Buddha. The people, those who were in the Sangha, they used to travel with the foot with the Buddha to talk about the Dhamma to the people. There were another separate Sangha for the women also, which was known as the Bhikkhunis. These are the points of the Buddha Sangha. Now next we will talk about the Judaism. Now we will see about the Judaism. Judaism people were belonging to the Jewish religions. When they arrived in the Kochi in the Kerala around the 1st to the 3rd century of Christian era, they only believed that there is only one God. They always follow the justice and they follow the truth also, peace, love, compassion, humility, self-respect. In this way they used to follow many things, and where they used to do their prayer, with that house is known as a synagogue. The picture is given here, you can see it down. This was about the Judaism. Now next we will talk about the history of their Christianity. This religion was founded by the Jesus Christ, which was spread all over the world. Saint Thomas was one of the 12 disciples of Christ, who came to Kerala in the 1st century of Christian era, who established a church at Palayur in Trichur district. According to this Christianity, what they used to think, that there is only one God. He is the loving Father of all. They believed that Jesus Christ is the Son of the God. They believed that Jesus Christ is the Son of the God. According to the Christianity, we are all brothers and sisters. We should love everyone, including our enemies also. Here it is told that we should love everyone, including our enemies also. We should forgive them. The holy book of the Christianity is the Bible, and the church is their prayer house. Now this is the Christianity we have saw. Now next we will talk about the Islam. Now our topic is the Islam. It is a monotheistic religion. Monotheistic means there is only one God. There is only one Allah, and the Muhammad is the prophet and the founder of Islam. The message of God is revealed through the holy book known as the Quran Sharif. The word Islam means peace, and it also means surrender to Allah. The purpose of human existence in the earth is to worship only Allah. The Quran Sharif provides guidance on how the man should behave in their life. In the ancient times, what happens? The trading was between the India and the Arabia. When the Arab traders visit ports on the coast on Kerala, Islam at that time only the Islam was spread in the Arabia. Then afterwards in the 7th century, Islam was arrived in the India through the Arab traders. When the Arab was connected with the India, at that time only our Islam has been spread in India. The mosque or the masjid, which was known as the prayer house of Islam. This was the topic about we have studied Islam. Now next and the last one is the Zoroastrianism. It is a Persian religion which was founded in the 6th century BC. BC means before the Christ, which I have told you. In ancient times, the Zoroastrian people and the Vedic people have shared their ties. The text of the Zoroastrian was known as the Avesta. The language of Rig Veda and the Avesta was the similar. That's why both the language was the same. The Rig Veda and the Avesta was the similar. The Parsis came to India from the province of Iran, so they were known as the Parsis. It was believed that they were the first came to Gujarat in the 8th century CE. Zoroaster was the founder of their religion. This Zoroastrianism was one of the religion, and the founder of this religion is known as the Zoroaster. The name of the god was Ahur Mazda. Here the name of the god was given Ahur Mazda. In their religion, fire and the water was very important elements. They used to give very importance to the fire and the water. The fire which burns in the temples, which was known as the Agyaris. See, the picture is also given here, Agyaris. You can see the pictures. The three main principles was the good thoughts. We have to think only the good things, good words and the good deeds. It means we should always think good. We should always speak good words, and work should also be good. I hope so all the points are clear. Thank you very much.